Hello, beautiful lady. Yes, I am talking to you. It is Thursday, and you know what goes down here on Thursday. Wife Life with Dr. Gail goes down here on Thursday. So do me a huge favor. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button and the little bell right next to it so you will know when I go live.
We're bringing sexy back. We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. Harder, won't you give it up?
And so tonight, I want to talk to you about 8 things that your husband needs from you. And the thing is that I get inundated all the time about, Dr. Gail, why are you always talking to us wives? Why don't you talk to the men? I do talk to the men. I talk to the men all the time. But let me just tell you this. As we get older, as wives, right, we need to start really taking accountability for what we're pouring into our marriages. I'm not saying that your husband should not pour into the marriage. I'm not saying that your husband shouldn't be held accountable, but there is so many women that want to be in your shoes and have the title as wife. And I am on a mission to equip you ladies to be the best wife that you can be. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. But have I been at this a long time? And I know that YouTube and other social media are inundated with relationship experts. But let me just tell you this. I'm not new to this. I am true to this, right? And I never teach anything that I don't do myself in my marriage. I just won't do it. And if I'm not doing it, I will tell you I'm not doing it. So, you got to start judging the tree by its fruit. There's a lot of people that are relationship experts, but they're not even married. How does that work out, right? And so my thing to you is there's a lot of women buying for your husband's affection. There's a lot of women that would like to be in your space. So my thing to you is easier to correct what you already have than starting new, okay? And I don't condone you staying in an abusive relationship, whether it's verbal, physical, or mental. I don't do that because I wouldn't stay in there. But my thing is that sometimes we as women, especially if we are successful in our careers, we get to a place where we figure like we have arrived and we don't have to do the work. And again, I'm not just talking to you. I talk to myself every single day because am I successful? Absolutely. Sometimes do I forget that Gail is the head of my household? Absolutely, I do. And I have to check myself as well. So the 8 things that your husband needs from you are simple things, but we need to make sure that we keep them in the forefront of our thinking. Number 1 is affection. And I know that you think, oh my God, like affection, it automatically equates to sex in his mind. Not all the time. Men are human beings as well, and they need to be hugged. They need to be kissed. They need their hands held, and they need some time for you to take the lead on that as well. And they need for you to tell them that they're doing a great job. Okay. So be affectionate with your spouse, because again, if you don't, somebody else will. Okay. Number 2, they want respect. And I can't sing this from the ceiling enough. And have I been disrespectful? Absolutely, I have. Have I regretted my behavior? Absolutely, I have. Have I changed my behavior and worked on my behavior? Absolutely, I have. Am I perfect? The answer is no, no, and no. Because if you've been following me for any length of time, you will know that I was raised by a long line of boss women that taught me that I didn't need a man to do anything, to provide for me or anything like that. And so my mentality had to change because I was operating 100% disrespectful. So men want and need to be respected in their household. Number 3, direct, candid, to the point communication. Now, we love to talk. Us women love to talk, but sometimes we do so much talking that we lose what we want to get across to our spouses. So they need direct communication. And again, all of these things I'm guilty of not doing, but I'm also cognizant enough to know that I need to do them, so I do them myself. Because I can tell the story and it can be so elaborate. Gail is looking at me like a deer in the headlight. So they need direct, open communication. Get to the point, because they don't track and process information the same way that we do. Number 5, they want a wife with good character, right? They want a woman that they know that they can trust, that you're telling them the whole truth and nothing but the truth, right? And that you are authentically being present and being the person that you're supposed to be, right? Because sometimes we get caught up in social media media or with our girlfriends and take on their personas and how they act and how they dress and all of these different kind of things. And it's not something that you might be trying to do, but it happens. So be your own person. Be secure with who you are, okay? Number 6, ambition. Now, they want a woman that is ambitious, that knows what she wants and not afraid to go get it. But they want a woman that's also able to submit and understand that he is the head of the household and that you guys together can reach his goals and your goals, okay? And sometimes this is a hard balance, and sometimes it takes a lot of communication, and sometimes it's going to take some arguments. But at the end of the day, they want to know that you guys have a future together and that you both are going to reach your goals and aspirations, right? And that you're able to hold him down when he's struggling and he's able to hold you down when you're struggling. So it's a dance that a lot of couples have to do, but they want a woman that has ambition and has a future, okay? Number 7, they don't like to be left in the dark and blindsided by something that you knew was going on, right? And this is something that just happened recently in my marriage. I just blindsided Gail with something really, really big, and he was not happy about it, but I was thinking that I could fix it myself, right? And I wasn't able to fix it, and so I had to use him as a 911 call. Men don't like that. They don't like that you're doing stuff in the dark and then you want them to be your knight in shining armor and rescue you, right? So don't keep them in the dark. If they can be along the process, put them in the process so at least they won't be blindsided. Because when I tell you Mr. Crowder was fit to be tired with Gail Crowder, he was fit to be tired, but I needed him to rescue me. But again, I thought that I could get it across the finish line and I couldn't, okay? And number 8, they want you to be your authentic self in the house and outside of the house, right? And that's one of the reasons why I started doing what I do, because I used to be so sweet, loving, and kind and all those things out in the streets. But when I got home, I morphed into something that was not nice. I said not nice things out of my mouth. My house was a living hell because the atmosphere we women set. And so I was hell on wheels at home. But as soon as we got out in the streets, I was nice and kind and wanted to be loving and doving, and Gail couldn't rock with that, right? So be your authentic self. Don't try to be someone else. The same way you are at home, be the same way out in the streets. And hopefully that's loving and kind and thoughtful and all of those kind of things, okay? I pray that this has helped some woman, right, that is struggling, because again, these things came from my husband when we were struggling in our marriage, okay? And I want to see you guys win. I love you guys to pieces. I am here every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next week.